Sorry to interrupt you two.
Hey, sorry. Oh, you didn't interrupt me. I'm just was trying to post on Facebook that we're going to start now. So we're going to start at 10 o'clock. I don't think that I can still go. Can you kind of watch to see if it goes live for me?
I'm early. I thought it was 11. Is it 11? I'm early.
No, it's 10. We're doing it at 10.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just here's the thing. It's like anything else. It's got to fit into your life, right? This today really had to fit into my life, and I thought it would be 10, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be. I thought it would be 11, but it's going to be 10.
Okay. I thought I forgot that you changed it.
Nope, you're good, right? And I didn't post it because I just have had a hellish 24 hours, so I couldn't get there. Couldn't get it going. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey guys, we're going to give it just 1 minute here. I'm going to just see if I can it says I'm preparing a live here too. So I did some stuff to my computer, so maybe I had to download the new Chrome and stuff. So it looks like it's preparing a live, but yet it's not showing up over there. So I don't know. Are you getting any indication that I'm live?
No, it just says recording on my end.
Okay, so I'm not going to worry about it. If it doesn't, I'll just upload that. But all right, so good morning. Hi, guys. Yeah, I did not post because I wasn't sure what time this was going to start. Yesterday I said 11, but it's been a really unbelievable 24 hours. So it just is working out that now's the time. So Patrice, look at her. She's here. Patrice, did you get your hair cut? Come on.
Oh, that's my old picture, but I did. I'm trying to get on there. I look at how I got it cut so short.
Oh, yeah, I love that length in the picture is great.
Yeah, it's a little bit longer than that, but it looks nice. I'm very happy.
Hey, Judy Hoagland. Julie, how do you say your last name?
Hoagland.
Thanks for joining us. All right,
Sure.
It's 10:02. We're going to go ahead and get started. Now, today is the day. Julie, we've been talking about holding a one-day event. So they have created the topic. They have created the offer. So now today we're going to start creating the content for a one-day event. So, I want to give you the information that you need. So Julie, if you want to go back and watch the other videos from earlier this week, you can do that, or you can just okay, I'll just catch up on another one. We'll be getting into new content later, not today, but later this week and next week. And by the way, we're going through May 31st, at least right now. So here's the deal. How do you create the content for that? So number one, I'm going to give you the agenda. So you need to write it down. I have not created a worksheet or anything. You're going to have to write it down. So number one, you start your day with your welcome. And that includes an introduction for everybody, a really quick introduction, 30 seconds maybe. Hey, Karen. So we're creating the content for your one-day event. So it's you started, let's say you're starting at 9. It's like the welcome. First, then you're going to give the introductions, right? Thanks for being here. And then here's who I am, my a little bit about tiny bit about you. And then you will let them introduce themselves quickly. And then it's going to go, why? Now, this is called, why am I qualified to teach you? But you're not going to say that necessarily. I sometimes say that. Why am I qualified to teach you, right? And you're going to tell your story, right? Your story of why you do what you do. Karen's story is she's got a unrealistic, unnatural love of cars that most of us feel like our car gets us from point A to point B. Karen has a different point of view on what a car is, right? Which is a lovely point of view. She loves, loves, loves cars, which makes her the perfect person to own a car auto care place, right? The name alone, auto care, right, is perfect for Karen, right? So she could talk about that and her love of cars and how she got into this field. She's been working in a man's field for so long. She worked for GM, right, GM, Karen? Yeah, and so she could tell her story from that perspective, right? You tell your story and then you go into some content. So really everybody should, for a one-day event, you should have like 3 teaching points, right? What are your teaching points that you would teach somebody based on your topic? Your teaching point for me, if I'm a teacher, we're going to cover your marketing message. I guarantee you will not leave there that day without an approved marketing message, meaning I'm going to approve it because I know what's going to land on your client's ears. How do I know? Because we're going to go around the room that day and you're going to say it until everybody gets it, or you're going to say it until your not ideal clients don't get it. There's a difference there, right? Oh, number 2, I teach on lead generation, how to get more leads. I teach on the three, shoot, what's it called? Hold on, don't go anywhere. I forget, I'm having one of those 3 stages of business. Why couldn't I remember that? I teach on the 3 stages of business, right? What does that look like? And what's the lead generation for each stage, right? And then I teach on how to do a proper sales call, how to have a proper conversation around sales. I also teach you how many people you have to reach out to in order to get a sales call, and how there is a mathematical formula for this, right? First of all, high five to all of you guys for showing up, not knowing what the hell time today was. Love it. I love the fact that you popped on because you didn't hear anything. Or maybe you saw the message that said it's starting now. I don't care. Either way, high five for all of you. All right. Second of all, so you've got your opening, right, which is your welcome, your introductions for them, and why am I qualified for teaching this? And then you naturally go into your first teaching point, right? Now, I am not one who's going to sit there and or stand there and lecture to you all day. How many of you have been to one of my events? Raise your hand. Right? You guys know that I do not talk to you for 8 hours, right? It is a conversation from the moment we walk in till the time we leave. We're having a conversation. How does this work in your business? How can we tweak that for your business, right? So there's a conversation through the audience the entire time because it makes it more interesting for the attendees. If you had to sit there, yeah, go ahead, Francesca.
So I was just gonna say that during your presentation too, it's a conversation amongst the people at the tables and across tables. It's not everybody's engaged with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of engagement there, and I encourage that. Do you know why? It builds community within the group there, right? There's a lot of business passed at my events because they're engaging with people. Those of you who show up to the Ultimate Revenue Roadmap and commit to spending the entire day with me, you'll connect with a lot of different people. Why? because there will be breakout sessions that you will be put into small groups and that you can create those relationships. A lot of you, though, have already done it because you're already showing up here every single day and doing the work. So a lot of you are already creating that, but come to the Ultimate Revenue Roadmap, and there are other people for you to connect with, but you'll connect with people more one-on-one. So that's part of it. So we've talked about that. We've talked about why am I qualified to teach you? We've talked about your three teaching points. And then it's like actually, let me give it to you again. Well, the opening, which is your welcome, and your why am I qualified to introductions, and why am I qualified to teach you? You give point 1 and point 2 lunch, and then you come back for point 3. But before point 3 is where you make your offer. I almost forgot that. Before point 3, and this is why I'm going to model it for you on May 22nd at my Ultimate Revenue Roadmap, and how to do it virtually from now on, right? So you come back from lunch and immediately you go into the offer, right? Well, hold on a second. So what I do is I come back and I will laser coach somebody. I'm going to show you what it looks like to work with me there, right? So how can you show somebody? So if you can't do that, the place there, right there, then is to give them your very best content there. That's where you put the hot, sexy, juicy content, is right after lunch. Number 1, they're tired, right? They've had a good lunch. You know, you get that after lunch, I feel like I could take a nap thing. I've been sitting all day, right? That's why you put your best content right there to keep them engaged. Okay? If you can laser coach somebody, if you can work on their business, show them how they can make more money, show them something, Ashley, that is the juiciest piece of all of this, right? And then you make your offer, right? Then you make your offer. Now, there's 2 parts to an offer. The first part is intellectual. It's like, here's my offer. This is the outcome that you're going to get. This is why you should sign up. Have a good day. Meet me at the back of the room, sort of offer, right? Now, after you make your offer, you'll take a quick break, talk to anybody who's interested in your offer, and then go back to, you'll finish your break and come back for your last piece of content, which should also be some of your best content. You always want to finish strong, right? Always want to finish strong. So you come back at the end of the day. Now it's time for the emotional piece of the offer, right? This is where you want to touch their heart. This is where people buy from a place of pain, right? Are you guys grabbing that? They buy from a place of pain.
Mhm.
So this is where you put the pain in, right? And this is where you want to touch their heart and make it emotional for them. Look, we've had a great day today, right? We've had a really great day. And you know that you need what I have to offer. And if you don't take it, what is it going to look like on the other side if you don't make this change right now? Right? This is sales, guys. Seriously, I talk about sales all the time being that this is where they're at, this is where they want to be, and you're the bridge to fix that, right? You're the bridge for that piece. This is the bridge here, right? This is the sales piece right here, right? You are the sales piece. You're the conduit that's going to get them from where they're at to where they want to be without falling down the big, deep crevice there. How many business owners do you know who've gone out of business because they never got the help they need? I know tons. I'm not 100% sure, having had a conversation yesterday, I'm not 100% sure Rocky Mountain Chocolate Factory as a corporation is going to be able to stay in business. So that's a corporation with franchisees, right? What's going to happen to those franchisees if they go out of business? Right? They're on their own. They've got a lot of money invested. If you guys think franchises don't go out of business, when's the last time you saw a roly-poly? When's the last time you saw a Arthur Treacher's? Loved Arthur Treacher's. Loved Arthur.
There's one in Schaumburg.
An Arthur Treacher's?
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Are you kidding? I'm
Yeah.
writing that down. The call's done. I'm going to Arthur Treacher's. Really?
How
There's
about
only,
Jack in the Box?
huh?
Jack in the Box.
Well, aren't they? Those are all in California, aren't they? Or did they
There's
go
very
out?
few left. But yeah.
Okay. I think I'm going to Arthur Treacher's for dinner if they're really in California, if they're really in the Schaumburg. So, seriously, I mean, like 25 years since I've seen an Arthur Treacher's. So, I love that. So really think about those roly-poly. I knew the guy who bought the master franchise for Illinois. His main company was in LaGrange. And the next thing you know, roly-poly's gone from LaGrange, and the same guy has put up a barbecue place, right? Great barbecue, but no more roly-poly. So franchises go out of business all the time, right? So you can't really, and that for Felice, I'm not just saying this because you're not the only franchise owner on this call. I'm just saying franchises can go out all the time too. So I didn't want you to think I'm just talking about your franchise. So, so you've made now you make the emotional offer, and then you send them away, right? They can stay after and talk to you, which usually a lot of people do. They'll stick around afterwards and talk, but then they go on their way home. Now what happens after they go home and they didn't buy from you? What do you do?
Follow up.
Follow up, right? You guys remember when I told you about my first one-day event? Did I tell this group about my first one-day event?
Yeah, I think
Have I told you?
so. Mm-mm.
No? All right, so I might have told it at the beginning. So the first time I did a one-day event, I had 16 people in the room. I was making a $2,500 offer, right? And by the way, there is limits on how much you can offer in a one-day event, okay? That you cannot usually offer more than $5,000. 3,500 is probably a nice sweet spot, but no more. And it depends on what you're offering. So, so I was making a $2,500 offer. I'd never made a paid offer before. I had the business model that was, hey, let me come to my event. No, you don't have to pay, right? No, it's free. And then let me give you all my good content. And then, by the way, I'm just going to hug you and send you on your way with no offer. That is a sucky business model, right? That is a business model that almost put me out of business, because you've been taught that if you give them enough that they will want to do business with you. That's what we all think. That's what we give and give and give, thinking people are going to want to do business with us, right? Sometimes that works out. However, more times than not, it doesn't. So I would put 4 people in a room. Anyway, let's go back to 16 people. I put 16 people in a room. I'm following my agenda. I've got my plan. I know it's a workable plan. I got it from my coach. I know it's a workable plan. And then I make my offer. And my hands literally were sweating. They were sweating. I had a jacket on. I could just feel like all of a sudden, I'd never had a hot flash. I still have never had a hot flash, but it felt like I had a hot flash. Like the beads of sweat were like, I'm like doing this, right? So I'm wiping the sweat away. I'm making my offer. I don't tell them how much it costs. I do a crappy job of telling them what they're getting, even though I had it all like in a book, and I pass out the little booklet for them. And I just do a really crappy job. And guess what? Nobody signed up. Nobody signed up. And I'm like, well, F, because not only did they come to this for free, I bought them all lunch. I had lunch delivered, right? Had them all boxed lunches. I spent a lot of money on that event, and nobody bought. So I came back home, and like any kick-ass entrepreneur, right? I sat at my desk for a week like this. For one freaking week, I sat like this at my desk, and I'm rolling around in my head. Nobody bought, nobody had bought. Why am I doing this? This is a bad business model. Why am I doing this? And after a week, I went out to my car, because I'd never brought anything in because I was so ticked off that nobody bought. And I got the little slips out of the car that I was smart enough to have them fill out. And I started calling people and saying, hey, you filled out this thing and you said you needed this, that this was a problem for you. I said, why didn't you buy the offer? Everything I'm giving you solves this problem. And they said, well, I didn't really understand it, what you were offering. And I didn't know that it did this. And you never told us how much it costs. I'm like, really? I didn't tell you how much it costs? So here's the price. I closed 3 people. It must have been $2,900 because I know I made $8,000 or $9,000 from that day event after a week, right? I really want you guys to hear this. I only made $9,000 from that because I followed up, right? If I didn't follow up, let me just say there might not be a strategy sphere today, right? But I didn't want to have to pick up the phone and call. I just wanted them to buy at the event so I didn't have to call them. How many of you feel like that? You just want them, when you make them an offer, you just want them to buy so you don't have to follow up. Anybody else feel like that? Or do you guys love picking up the phone, asking them to do business with you? I don't, right? Margie's like, yes, please, right? I don't love that. Julie, why are you not on video? Every other person is on video. Why can't we see you? Why do you want to be invisible? Just asking. So how are you going to handle your one-day event then, right? You're going to make them an offer. And if they don't buy, you're going to follow up with them anyway. Unless they've told you to F off at the end of your one-day event, you owe it to them to follow up with them. Unless they're like, you suck, please don't call me ever again. Please don't call me ever again.
Yeah.
And then now you know, take them off your list, right? They've told you. All right, any questions about this? Margie, go ahead.
Well, I just have something to say, because remember when you follow up with people, they're leading busy lives. And I preach this to my team all the time. Don't assume because somebody got your text and they don't respond, they're saying no. They probably read it at a stoplight, because I do that too.
Oh my God, yes.
And I am working on something else with another company, and they gave me great language to follow up with people, because I'm the queen of following up with, oh my God, I was just thinking about you. Are you still thinking about this? I'd love to connect. You know, all this. They told me to follow up this way. Say, hey, you and I discussed XYZ. I haven't heard back from you. Have you given up on this? Because the psychology behind that is who wants to say, yes, I've given up.
I love that.
And it's a little bit different than, it's the other side of the coin, right? And proof is in the pudding. So I attended like a Dave Ramsey, like become a financial coach webinar earlier through all of this, just because, I mean, my wine business is rocking it, but I believe in diversifying my income, and
Awesome.
That's interesting to me. And of course, now I'm on some auto drip campaign, right? And yesterday my email was, we haven't heard back from you. Are you giving up on this? And sure as hell, I don't give up, right? So even though I haven't committed to buying Dave Ramsey's program, I responded back and said, I haven't given up yet. And it was interesting because I got that same language from another vendor I'm working with. So just, that's a little.
Yeah. So, yeah. So that's brilliant, right? That's brilliant. By the way, say hi to Lisa Hurler. She's going to be our guest speaker on Thursday.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Sorry, I'm
Hey,
back in here.
Lisa.
I watch you every day.
Yes. And I have to apologize. I went quiet. My mom's 81-year-old. Her caregiver stopped coming to work. So that's just added to my quarantine fund.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
I get you.
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Really, Lord? But anyway, I digress. So that's, if I've been a little quiet lately, that's why. Because.
So I actually love that language there. So you're done then, right? And then you follow up until they tell you to either drop dead or F off, right? You follow up, you keep following up. Most people are not so rude that they will say that to you, right? So here's the thing, we've talked about this before, all we're looking for is a decision. Who was I talking to? Are you on the phone? I was talking to the other day. Oh, no, I know who it was. Never mind. And I said to her, you and I had talked about this. You told me you wanted to work with me. I said, here's the thing. All I'm looking for is a decision today. Yes or no. It doesn't matter to me, right? I'd love to help you. I'd love to help you get out of this pinch that you're in, but I'm just looking for a decision. And you as a small business owner should get really good at making decisions, because nobody wants, so many people, not everybody, so many people don't want to make a decision about their business. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Right? That's all you're looking for. You tell me no, I'll follow up with you maybe again sometime, possibly if I'm not too busy. Right? Chances are you'll hear from me again. And then, but here's the thing, I'm only probably going to reach out to you when I know you're in the exact same position a year later as when you said no to me the first time. Right? How do you, this is how you build a business for yourselves, right? All right, let's open this up for any questions. I only have about 10, 15 minutes for questions. Go ahead, Francesca.
So it's not Arthur Treacher's, it's Long John Silver's, and it's Downers Grove, sorry.
All right.
All
All right. When's the last time you saw an Arthur Treacher's? And you're right, Downers Grove right there on 75th Street is the only one that I know of that's left.
That's the Long John Silver's.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Long
Yeah.
John Silver's there on 75th Street, but they're not as good as Arthur Treacher's. They were not as good as Arthur Treacher's. So my point being, thank you, Margie, me too. That's where we'll meet for lunch. All right, so what is it that you need to know about your one-day event? Here's the thing, I want you to start creating your content for this. Now, you do not have to write it out word for word unless that's who you are. Most of you know what you're doing. You know your subject line. Create yourself a great detailed outline. An outline of what you're going to talk about on your one-day event. Now, what happens if you're doing it if you're doing a 2-hour workshop? Well, chances are that's probably because you're a network marketing company and you really are giving away a free call or something like that. Right? But for the rest of you, you can do a 2 or 3 hour. You can't charge up to $5,000 for 5 hours, by the way. Right? There is amount of time that you have to spend with somebody before that they'll feel comfortable enough to spend that much money with you. Okay? And one day after they spend 8 hours with you, you can comfortably offer up to about $5,000. I wouldn't do that on my first event if I were you. I would come in around, if you're doing 8 hours, I would come in around between $2,500 and $3,500. And then offer a great payment plan. You guys don't forget about payment plans and how to sell to people. Ideally, we would all love to get our money up front, but I'm totally okay with a payment plan. Do you know why?
Keeps you engaged.
You make more.
You make more, but that's not the reason.
Make it affordable?
It makes it more affordable, but that's not the reason.
So it doesn't seem so much in the beginning? So
well, I'll just tell you guys.
expensive or?
I think it's great PR. It's great PR.
Well, that's
Keep you in contact with them.
No, because
Giving them options.
I'll tell you.
Let her finish.
I'll tell you why. And it's all of that, but the main reason is why I'll offer a pay in full. I love to offer a pay in full, discounted pay in full, but I love the payment plan too, because it keeps cash flow coming into my business every single month.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It keeps the cash flow. And that's really, guys, you want cash flow coming in every month, right?
Yep. Right.
All right. So any questions, any other questions here? Okay. Then you guys go out and create your one, Merelda, go ahead.
I just, can you go over that cash flow piece? Because if someone's paying you upfront, you still have the money. And I'm not opposed to payment plans. I'm just trying to understand the logic of the cash flow, because if you got it up front, you've got it up front. What you're saying is that rather than someone saying no, you give them the opportunity to pay, and that's why it creates cash flow. I just want to understand that.
Oh, sure. So no, so if I were going to, so if I take all the money up front, what if I'm a bad bookkeeper and I spend all my money and they're working with me? Let's just say they're working with me for a year and they pay me in full for a year up front.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have no money coming in. And if I did not manage that correctly, I didn't keep any in reserves to pay my bills with that money because I saw a large chunk of money, so I spent it, right? That I like cash flow. I like money coming into the business on a monthly basis. Now, I am organized enough that I could, if somebody pays me in full, I actually add it to my books a month at a time, right? But if I didn't, right, and I like the idea of seeing deposits come in every single month. So
Then you need to hire badass people like Ashley and I to keep you straight. That's the problem. I hear a problem.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question about
No,
cash flow?
exactly. Like it's like the people that want a refund at the end of the year for their taxes because they can't manage their money.
Exactly.
If that's the case, you hire Ashley.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right. Lisa, you had a question?
No need to be sorry.
I just wanted to ask because I just thought this was awesome. The last 2 jobs I had that people are willing to pay by Zelle. Has anybody used Zelle just to have payment be given to them for jobs? I mean, that was the most awesome way. I didn't have to pay anything. She said, "Nope, I'm going to do this right now." And then anytime that because I usually collect half money before I do my job, and then they'll finish, at the end, and not having to worry about any of that was the most awesome way to collect money. And that's the first thing I'm going to ask people when I go on my job when I'm out of this house. I was just curious if any of you have used it.
I use it, but not for business. I use it for other things.
I
And
use it.
Venmo.
Some.
All right.
What are you using, Lisa?
Zelle for payment. It can come from anywhere, because I do a job in Florida. I do a job, I mean, they pay me. I don't have to pay any kind of interest, and it's right in my account. I know they have it. It was awesome. So that's how I'm
like
going
Venmo?
to.
It is.
Is it like Venmo?
Yes.
I think they're like one and the same through your account. I guess it depends on your bank, and I use Chase and Chase uses Zelle, but so does First. I have 4 different accounts, so then they all use it, and that's why I use it. And I do it with my kids, and my mom's in Florida. I mean, I just used all these things that are just so easy, and you don't have to worry about, where it's coming from.
Awesome. All right. I want to go on to Barb here. Barb, what's your question?
Yeah, so Jean, knowing you, I am sure that if you're going to do a year-long program or 6 months or whatever it will be, that you devise a contract for people to sign so they just can't opt out any old time they want. So I just wanted to point that out because I know you do that.
I do that, right?
And that's really protection.
Well, not that, but I do it because you cannot tell me you want to have you want a specific result, and when you don't get it in the first 2 months, right? Or you're not doing the work in order to get it. Yeah, no, you can't opt out for that, right? You hired me to give you a result. Yeah, I do have an agreement.
Good. No, I know you do, but I just wanted to make sure that it was out there.
Yeah. All right. Patrice, go ahead.
Can I?
This is sort of off topic, but I have a guy.
Lisa, hold on. Patrice, go ahead.
Okay.
Who do we know that sells foaming hand sanitizer dispensers? I have a guy looking.
Sells what?
He wants foaming hand sanitizer dispensers.
Have you checked GFS?
I was just hoping you guys knew someone we could point business to.
Oh,
Patrice,
that would be where I would go.
I might have one for you, Patrice. I'll email you.
Who is that? Who's talking to me?
Karen.
Oh, Karen. Perfect. Thanks,
Yeah.
Karen. And then have you guys heard about the First Midwest Bank and ESPN? They're giving away small business campaign for a 300-word contest. Anyone wants the link? I have it.
What are they? What's the prize or whatever?
It said First Midwest Bank and ESPN Chicago are teaming up to give one local small business a $50,000 advertising campaign with ESPN Chicago. And 300 words or less tell us why your business is deserving. And their criteria is passion for your business, innovation during this time. Jean, I think you should apply. Employee loyalty, impact on your neighborhood, community, and overall culture.
Wow.
Can you put the link in the chat? That'd be great. I'll pass
So
that
this was
along.
out to Patrice. Patrice, You can check all those stores, CVS, GFC, whatever they said. If you can't find them, I can tell you it's because most of that stuff comes from China and they're all backlogged just in case, you can't find it. That's the
Yeah,
reason
that's
why.
what it sounds like. He put a Facebook post out,
Yeah.
looking to see who
Yeah.
has a supplier.
Yeah.
Can I ask a quick question? Because I wanted to ask this out of the whole group anyway, because you're doing the 1-day event. Is that, has everyone done speaking engagements? I mean, in your business, have you done speaking engagements before?
Lisa, I teach this. I do it and I teach it. I'm not sure why you're
No, I
asking
know
that
you
question.
do, but I wanted to know out of the group. I mean, I'm learning from you. I wanted to know out of the group how many have, because I'm seeing a mix of us of, you use the word, don't take my middle, or don't go ahead of me, or what, the words that we say. And so I'm just kind of saying, there's beginners, right, in the middle. And that's why because I can't tell by when I watch you all what stage you are in your business.
Well, I'm trying to understand why you're asking, because that's something that I told you needed. So why are you asking? Just to see if other people are doing it also?
I want to see how many other people might have the fear I do of speaking.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha. All right, so how many of you speak to get clients?
What was that, Jean?
How many of you speak to get clients? Do a talk in order to get clients. I know Merelda does. Ashley is going to be. Irene said she does. Francesca, Stella I know does. Patrice does, right? Kelly does. Felice will soon be doing that.
Well, I do through chambers. I do
have.
speeches through different chambers, if that counts.
Yeah.
I don't
See,
know.
that's what I said, is I did it through networks and stuff, but I've never done it, like to stand up in front of groups or do an event like what she's doing. I was just curious. I was just curious to see if anybody else had the same kind of feeling I do.
Being fearful of that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I'm being honest. I'm very fearful. I mean, you ask why I don't ask or do, because I'm fearful.
And I totally get that, Lisa, and you know what I say to that, right? Suck it up, Buttercup. You have to do what you have to do. And if it's important enough to you, you will do it scared. That's been kind of the theme of this whole strategy spheres, right? Do it scared, because everybody who started here was scared. Would you guys really think that? Would you guys admit to the fact that everybody was a little scared when they first got here about what's going on and what was going on in the economy and stuff? And how many of you have made money in the last month? How many of you you know what? Last week on our 5 a.m. call, we had 6 people in one day took on new clients. The next day we had people take on a client the next day also. And then this morning we had, out of 16 people, was there 5 this morning that took on new clients yesterday, right? So,
Wow.
right? They're doing it scared. They're doing the work scared. Because it's scary right now, because you can be accused of being insensitive to people who are not working. You can be accused of trying to take advantage of people when you're speaking right now and asking for work or talking about how you can help people for money. Oh my God, for money, right? You're being accused of hurting people for that. None of you are hurting people for that. I don't hurt people for that, right? You just do it scared. Lisa, that's what I was talking about when I was talking about that 1-day event. I'd never made an offer before, and I was so scared. I was so scared to make that offer that my hands were shaking. I was sweating profusely, right? And made a shitty offer. And it didn't make sense. I didn't tell anybody how much it cost, and nobody bought. And then I did it scared when I went in my car and got their forms a week later and followed up. I did it scared, right? If you don't do something scared, you'll never do it, right? So just know that that will not go away until you start doing it. Right? The fear of speaking will always be there until you start speaking. And the only way that I know to overcome that is to do it scared.
So I would just add to that, that it doesn't matter where you where you are in your life, you're always going to face a devil you don't know. And you have to get past it and keep pushing. And the great thing about it is we've got a bunch of ladies here that are, we have no men, right? A bunch of ladies here that are, we're all in the same bucket. So we're all going to do something each day that's out of our comfort zone. But that's what we do. We persevere and move forward.
And you know what I love about that? You guys are so supportive of each other, right? Everybody's so supportive of each other in this group. Look what Merelda just posted. My master's degree only had speaking finals. Imagine that, right? That you had to know your material well enough that you could speak it in order to get your master's degree.
Wow.
Right? All of you probably have the equivalent of a master's degree with what you do in your business, right? You know your stuff. Now all
And you're
have
passionate about it.
You're passionate about it, yeah. Right? All
My
you have to
husband
do
was a
is do it.
terrible speaker, and he joined Toastmasters, and now he's the #1 speaker in the company.
Wow.
So you gotta either teach yourself how to do it, get someone to help you learn how to do it, but you gotta figure it out.
I think Toastmasters is a great place to go when you've never spoken and you want to learn how, because they give you some of the fundamentals. But I think I would never use their tools when I'm actually out there speaking for business, because it does not work, right? The counting the ahs and ums, and the applauding for, right? That whole thing, you walk up, they applaud. You sit down, they applaud. They blow their nose, you applaud.
Yeah.
Right? There's some pieces of it that I don't really care for Toastmasters, but they teach some really great fundamentals. Felice.
I love the. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Felice.
I was gonna. I love the.
Felice, wait a minute. Barb has had her hand up for 5 minutes. Go ahead, Barb.
So Lisa, the more you speak, the more comfortable you'll become used to it. And one of the things that I always did was I practiced in front of a mirror, and I did it a few times until I became comfortable. So whatever worked for you, but that's how I did it. And the other thing I'd like to say is I spoke a few times for the WESO's group, and everybody's in the same boat. Most people are frightened to speak. That's the bottom line. So just keep in mind that everyone feels the same way, and they're relieved that you're up there and they're not. And most people, like Jean said, are very supportive of others.
Yeah.
For the most part, you can practice on us.
Unless you got up there and told a racist joke, most everybody in the room would love you. Right? Most everybody in the room would love you.
No, we'll see Thursday, see if you still like me.
I'm sure they will love you. So don't be afraid, right? No, here's the thing, Lisa, it's okay to be afraid. Do it scared, right? Do it scared. You're going to be fine. I'm going to be there. I'll be kicking your ass.
Let me say this last thing, Jean. So I was at a WESO.
Hold on, Barb. Hold on. Okay. It's Lisa's turn.
Right.
Oh, one of the things that I love about Toastmasters, there's a lot, but the one thing that I like the most is the table topics, where you pick something out of the basket and you have to give a 2 to 3 minute speech about it. Mm-hmm. So that really makes you think quickly, and then if you say it too quick, then you have to draw it out. That's my favorite part about Toastmasters, like on the spot impromptu speaking.
You know what I love best about table topics is you have to be a politician when that comes up, because you have to be able to talk. You have to be able to take the table topic and turn it to where you feel comfortable with something to talk about, and then to give your own opinion and talk about something different about that table topic. That's what I love about table topics.
Right. You put a spin on it. Right. Just like the politicians. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I love that. It really makes you try really hard.
Yeah. Merelda, I don't know. Did you have your hand up before Barb wanted to talk last? I don't remember. Okay, Barb, go ahead, and then Merelda, and then I got to go.
So I was attending this WESO's event, or actually just a networking a couple years ago. And this one gal was speaking, and I can't remember if she said it in the beginning or at the end, but she was so frightened to get up there that day. She showed up and she did it, and I thought she did a phenomenal job. I think she said it at the end. because she said that she, and we all applauded, she did a great job, that she was so scared that she was literally up all night over that whole thing, literally all night. So, but she did it, and she did a great job.
Yeah.
That's all.
We're all done. And then that's the last question. I gotta go. Patrice, are we still meeting at 11? Okay. Can you just chat me your phone number really quick?
I just want to say really quick. I just wanted to say really quick, the reason why we tend to be afraid is it's an unfamiliar behavior to the brain. So that mirror technique and saying it over and over creates a familiar pattern in your brain, which helps you lose your sense of fear and puts it in your viscera. And so I would recommend taking Felice's idea of like the topics, putting them in a little box of what people have asked you, everything, pull out one and say it in front of the mirror and create that familiarity in your body so that you have a visceral memory.
Yeah. All right, awesome. Guys, I have to go. We have to end now. I'm sorry, Irene, but I've got a Facebook Live that's starting right now with WISO. So I will see you guys back at 4 p.m. for the Health Club. Okay? And Patrice, I'm going to call you right after that Facebook Live if we can start early. Is that okay?
See you out Thursday.
Okay, cool. All right, bye. Have a good day. Bye.
Bye.